What's going on, everyone? This is your first experience getting on the show, the Money Mindset Show. And this is the first episode that we are going to be doing. Um, it's going to be a lot, just a heads up as to what we're going to be doing in this podcast. It's going to be a lot of mindset talk. We're going to have a lot of guests on here, people who are doing very well for themselves and people who are maybe trying to get to that point as well. But I want to give you knowledge and just experiences as to what exactly people are doing that is benefiting them, including myself and any other maybe nuggets that can contribute to your livelihood, increasing the quality of your life, and achieving what you want to achieve, specifically in the financial arena. Okay. So we're going to talk about investments. We're going to talk about cash flow. We're going to talk about all the technical stuff. And also we'll talk about the spiritual side, the mindset, the mental aspect, right? Maybe the physical as well, because all of that is important. All right. So many times, this the one way to start this podcast is to always ask yourself a question. Maybe that's how I'll do it. Maybe from here on out, I'll just always start with a question. So let me ask you a question. What would you say, you have to think about it, is the main threat to you? Now, when I mean the main threat to you, I'm asking not on a physical realm per se, more on the metaphysical plane. Is there a threat that you feel that you can consider at this point, be it physical or metaphysical, whichever, that specifically pertains to you? Now, we're going to talk about specifics in a more deeper sense, right? We're not going to talk about like getting hit with a meteor or anything like that, right? That's very general, very unlikely. We're talking about everyday threats that is you're dealing with at all times. Okay. So the answer, before you even before I tell you the answer, actually think about it for a second. And it may come to you or it may not, but it's actually more obvious than what you think. What is that answer? That answer is you. You are your main threat. The main threat to you is you. Main threat to you is you. And a lot of people don't realize that. They tend to look outside of themselves and tend to see what's going on outside of themselves. And what that tends to do is that tends to form the ideology of victimization. So you feel that instead of you being in control, things are kind of happening to you. And most of the time, if you switch the perspective a bit, you'll realize that you are your biggest threat, that you are in that circumstance because of the way you think and what you've done and the decisions you've made. But we'll talk about that even further. So, on that same token, I think everyone understands and realizes that, and I guess in a general sense, they feel they know that they can improve their life if they choose to, right? At least that's what they hear or they get told. Many people don't believe it though. And that is the difference maker. Once you set that idea in your mind and you water it, right? You maintain it, right? You take care of that idea, then it will begin to grow. And as it continues to grow, you'll come to a crossroads where you'll have to make decisions, maybe two, maybe three, maybe more. But there will be roads because you're always going on a road, right? I think about it like this. My journey in life is like walking, right? Walking to a destination that is untimed, accounted for. We don't know when the end will be. We don't know how far the journey will be. We don't know what will come or what obstacles or benefits, right? Gifts, I guess you can call it, will come along those paths. But I see it not as a straight path, but as a path of many turns, right? You look at it I almost look at it like a maze, right? You're going, you're walking in a road, and then all of a sudden you see there's three different turns, one going straight, one going to the right, one going to the left. Which one do you take? Which one do you take? Knowingly, maybe subconsciously, that each of these paths that you take may or may not make a big impact on your future. I see it like that. So as you're going down this journey, this path, this road, I guess you can call it, you are at one point in time running into many different other directions that you can go, right? And once you have that mindset in a way, or that perspective, you switch it, you can kind of decide more or less which path to take. Because most of the time, people just go with either whichever path everyone else is going, or whichever path they were maybe told to go down, or they just don't realize that there's many different other paths or many other different directions as they're going down this road or this journey. And the truth of the matter is that, and we'll get to this even further as we talk about it. And believe me, we're getting to the money aspect, but I like to start with the mindset, right? Hence, Money Mindset Show. As you continue to build this, you can call it, let's call it perspective for now. As we continue to build this perspective over time, and we're gathering more and more data, right, along our path, we come into these decisions. We come into these crossroads, right? And now the fact that whichever one we decide to go to is, in a way, going to impact our life. Now, with that in mind, I also want to highlight the fact that it's not as if you're just walking down a dark path and all of a sudden you see three turns. I see it as you have limited information on each path, right? Because you can see in front, you can keep seeing. It's not like it's a dark, you're just walking into the abyss. You can, in my mind, as I try to describe this metaphor, I see it as a path that you can kind of see down. You can kind of see what's going on a little bit over there. You see what is that? All right, I see some balloons over there. Okay, I see some people over there. You can kind of see down each path, right? And I visualize it in a way where you kind of can tell based off your perspective or the data that you've been gathering throughout the whole journey. You can kind of tell, okay, this is maybe a good path because I see like 2 or 3 people down there, and they look like they turning up a little bit, but I don't know if that's the best path for me. Then I see this path right here. It looks a little dark. I don't know if that's the best path. I don't really see. It looks like there's cobwebs there. Hasn't been gone down that often. I see another path here with a lot of light, but it's kind of looks a little bit, real bright. It looks very well maintained. So you can kind of see based off your experiences what the path is like. Again, you'll never know until you take that direction. But based off your experience, based off your data collection, based off your perspective, your mindset, and what you are looking to achieve, right? That is what's going to allow you to at least go in the right direction. Even if you take one wrong path, you can always get back on the path that you're looking to be at because you have a sense of direction. You have a goal, right? So all of that, and keep up with me now, all of that was just to illustrate that you, in a way, have the ability to improve your life based on the decisions and the habits that you make, right? Uh, I, I was remembering a quote that said, your life is made up of decisions, and those decisions are made up of habits. And those habits are made up of ideas, something along those lines. And it's so true. Your decisions, subconscious as they are, many of them are not made up. I, I mean, I have to see what the statistics are, but I know from experience, a lot of the time we make decisions on a feeling, make decisions on whatever we believe or whatever we think in that moment. Sometimes it's very quick. A lot of the time we have to make a split-second decision. And so if our mindset and our direction, our goals, our mission isn't aligned with what we want our life to be, then we're going to pick any path. Okay. The way you improve your life is based on your belief system, your mindset, okay, the ideas that you allow to grow, right? And those ideas are fed by your habits, and those habits are what give and provide you with the decisions that you make in your life. Okay. So with all that being said, that is just, I wanted to illustrate that. Okay. You can improve your life. You have the ability to do that. Now, many people don't really see where they're going to go, or they just kind of aimlessly walk through life. And they kind of, I feel like a lot of people run into this situation where they are living life and they don't know what they're doing. They don't really, they just kind of, they see something on TV and, oh, okay, I got to buy a nice car, or I got to travel, or I got to spend a lot of money, and I got to go out clubbing, and that's life. And the truth of the matter is that, again, it depends on what you want out of life too, because it's so much deeper, right? Because people see it, it's like a surface level, and then there's a subconscious, like a shadow level to life that people don't see. It's behind the scenes, and that we'll talk maybe on the next podcast. But there's this conscious surface level that everybody sees, and there's this subconscious shadow level that no one sees, right? Because, okay, let's talk about it for a second. Let's say you do want that lifestyle where you're partying, you're going out all the time, you're getting drunk. That's you like to party, right? That's your thing. Cool. No problem. If that's what you like, that's what you like. But what is the results that you're going to get from that lifestyle? What is your life going to become from those decisions that you're making on the day-to-day basis, based on that mindset that you have, right? There's a mindset at the end of the day. So the results that you're going to get, yeah, you're going to have fun in the moment. You may have fun, but at the same time, the consequences from that, you could be making mistakes that you don't want to be making. You could be making and doing things that really are messing up your life, health-wise, right? Relationship-wise, maybe financially, because you're spending a lot of money going out and drinking and things like that. Drinking alcohol is a very expensive habit. Ask me how I know. Very expensive. It's very expensive. You'd be surprised how much money you spend. If you look at your bank account and you go out a lot, you'd be surprised how much money you spend on a monthly basis going out and just buying alcohol. So are you taking a hit financially while you're doing that? You probably are. There's many different results and consequences that come from actions, right? I don't think there's any good or bad consequence per se. It just depends on what you want, right? Are you okay with living, paycheck to paycheck? If you can live the lifestyle you want, are you okay living paycheck to paycheck? That's good for you and you like that? Great. Fantastic. That's good for you. Okay. Personally, I don't think that's the best idea, because you become, almost like a slave to your money. You almost become a slave to your job, right? Or your occupation. You have to depend on it in order to, continue living that lifestyle or continue to fund that lifestyle, be it negative or not, right? Be it that, are you getting the results in general, overall that you want, or are you just kind of enjoying that moment? What is the long-term repercussion for doing that? Things that you need to consider, right? So my point in saying that is that you need to have something worthwhile in life. There needs to be something that you get that wakes you up in the morning. Something that is that when you wake up every morning, you say, "I'm ready to go. Let's do it." That something that when you wake up in the morning, you say, "Thank you, God. Thank you. I can't believe I'm living this life." Right? Because that is really what, in my opinion, one of the little nuggets in life that you can do what you want to do, that you are the person that you see yourself as in your mind. And a lot of that comes from you doing what you're going to do or doing what you feel that you want to do, right? And when I say that, I don't mean that in the way of momentary or instant gratification type of thing, right? I mean in the sense of fulfillment, in the sense of purpose in life. That's what I mean. So having that worthwhile uh, thing in life, that worthwhile idea or ideal in your life that wakes you up every morning, that when you wake up you feel good, is so important because it allows you to really kind of align yourself with who you really are. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of it gets you to a point where you at one point, I was waking up and I remember I came from so I used to work in an insurance company, my last job, 9 to 5 job. Well, no, take that back. My last 9 to 5 wasn't really a 9 to 5. It was more like an 11 p.m. to like 7 a.m. thing. I used to work at a hotel and it wasn't that bad, but I had to report in and do all the things that you normally do when you have an employee job. And I promise you that there was moments that I woke up after, doing what I'm doing now, and I couldn't believe that I was not at a 9 to 5 job. I was in disbelief. I had to get down on my knees and tell God, thank you. 'Cause I was so grateful. And that sense of fulfillment, anyone can have that. But it takes a lot of self-analyzation and a lot of inner work to get to that level where are even you even know what that fulfillment is. For me, I've always had a deep desire to live life on my terms, live life, make my own schedule, have control of my own time. But at the same time, it wasn't that I just wanted control of my own time, right? Because, homeless people have control of their own time, So I wanted to do what I wanted to do with who I wanted to do it, or do whatever I wanted to do. Let me take that back. Not I wanted to. I want to do whatever I want to do, anytime I want to do it, with whoever I want to do it, with no obstruction. I want to be able to move like you can say like a fish in water when it comes to life. Like I'm just cruising. Anywhere I want to go, I go. Anybody I want to meet up with, I meet up with. Anyone or any time that I want to meet up at with these people, I can do it. I want to wake up at 3 p.m. one day and then the next day not sleep, I can do it. I do it. And that lifestyle is always been something that called me. But it's a deep desire. It's a deep desire. And point of me saying that is that if that's something that you want, what is stopping you? Is it the money? Is it fear? What is it? Because this takes me to the next subject, and it's this. There is no unrisky thing, right? There's nothing that you can find that has no risk. Everything has risk in life. There's nothing that has no risk. If you want security, you know, maybe you should rethink what life is. If you want security, not even a job offers security, because guess what? They can fire you at any time. You can be the best employee there. And if what happens if the business shuts down? There's not there's never security. It's a false sense of security. You want to know where there's real security at? Let me tell you where there's real security at. Real security comes in knowing that you can handle risk. That's where real security comes in. When you allow yourself to pick your risk and you say, you know what, I'm going down this path. I don't care how risky it is. I'm going to do it no matter what. You go down that path with all the risk and you handle the risk. That in itself allows you to realize, it gives you the confidence that you can deal with risk, that you are tough enough and resilient enough to deal with risk. And in knowing that, you actually become secure within yourself. You find security within you that you can handle risk. That is the only security that you have in this life. There's no security, not even in investments, not even, you can look at any investment or any job that anyone has had, and there's never been any sense of security. It's been a false sense of security. So why bang your head against the wall to find this security when it doesn't exist? It's just a figment. It's a marketing tool that employers use to try to get people to work for them. Yeah, come here, work here for me, do this 9 to 5, and you don't have to worry about money. That's a false ideology. That is not real. That is not real. That is a hologram. You are living in a hologram when you think and you are doing that. But then people get so bent out of shape when they lose their job. Oh my God, I lost my job. Yeah, you're actually riskier to yourself when you don't know or have any other skills that can supply you with another job. Me personally, I do sales. I can do anything with sales. I can sell anything. I personally do real estate. Okay? Even real estate is not 100% secure. Yes, it's more secure than stocks or, crypto. Sure, whatever. However, it's never 100% secure. Nothing is 100% secure. So why are you looking for this 100% security when it doesn't exist? You're looking for something that does not exist. Okay? So let me ask you guys this. Why is it so hard for us as people to let go of something that is familiar with us when we know it's bad and not good for us? Think about that one. Let me ask you that question again. Why is it so hard for us as people to let go of something that is familiar to us when we know it's not good? When we know it's bad for us, right? A toxic relationship or, a job that we hate, for example, right? Drugs, right? Letting go of that sauce, that alcohol. Why is it so hard for us to let go of these things when we know it's not doing us any good? The reason is that we tend to discount the risk of familiarity. We tend to look at familiarity and disregard completely the risks of something becoming familiar. But the truth of the matter is that it's just as risky, if not more risky, than something that is new to us. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. Think about that. For example, if you have a job that you hate, right? What are the risks? Why are you staying at that job if you hate that job? The reason that you're staying at that job when you know you hate that job is because you look at the risks, or in your mind, you've made peace with the risks of staying at that job. So in other words, there's risks in staying at that job, right? There's risks for staying at that job. For example, what? What risks are there for staying at that job? Well, over time, you'll become bitter, right? You'll become hardened over time, right? You won't be that That you may not be that fun loving gal or girl, gal or guy that, you know, that just has that sense of purpose, that sense of personality. You may not have that. You may have, it may staying at a job that you dislike, that you hate. I remember that when I hated my job, I was stressed all the time. I was going through some health issues. My body was breaking down, literally. Literally, my body was breaking down. And the funny thing, ironic thing is that I used to work at a health insurance company. So they would backdoor sell us health insurance. It wasn't free. They would backdoor sell us health insurance and either put it in our payroll, where they take out a piece of our check every month, or they would allow us to pay for it out of pocket. Another way. So they were not only killing us, but they were benefiting in us dying. So you're staying at a job that's killing you. You hate it, but yet you're still there. You clock in every day. You complain about it every single day. You're there all the time, but yet you hate it and it's killing you. Why? Why? Because you are discounting the risks of familiarity, the risks of staying there. Over time, that risks is going to play out. You're going to see it more and more. Right? What other risks are there to staying at a job that you hate? Low sense of purpose, low sense of fulfillment, low spirit, right? These are all things that you can't see that may lead to physical damage down the road, maybe mental damage, maybe emotional damage. These are things that you don't see in the moment that just continue to add up every single day. Bam, bam, they're adding up, they're adding up, they're adding up. You hate it, but you have to go because you got to pay the bills. You got to go, you got to pay the bills. You know, you want the new J's. You got to go to the job. Or you're going to the club this weekend. You got to show out. You know, hey, you need that money, right? You're not learning. You're not advancing. You're just in the same, doing the same thing every single day. Every single day, you're doing the same thing. Every week from Monday to Friday, you're working, right? They slaving you. They working you. And then on Saturday, Sunday, you turning up, drinking, getting messed up. Really, what you're trying to do is try to cover up your, I want to say, really your sadness, maybe your sense of enclosure. Maybe you feel like you're trapped. Your sense of worthlessness. Maybe you're trying to cover that up. You're trying to cover something up, and doing that because you feel a certain. Maybe you feel victimized. Point being is that you're at a job that you don't like. You're going there all the time because you have to pay the bills, which is a logical, thought of mind. And that same thing that's helping you pay the bills is what's making you miserable. So again, there's no secure path anywhere. There's no secure path anywhere. You can do real estate or you can do Bitcoin, you can do anything, and there's going to be a sense of risk. But at least, like we talked about earlier, if you're going to have a sense of risk, pick your risk at least. At least give yourself that benefit where you can pick the risk. Because, like we just discussed, if you pick the risk, then at least you know what you're getting into. Right? And so if you know that you're getting into it, it's like a sense of adventure. Right? It kind of wakes you up every morning in a way. Now, you don't know what's going to happen. You have to go out there and bust your butt, bust your ass. So that, in a way, if you can get through that, that tells you that you're tough enough, that you're resilient enough to do it, even if it's a small success, a little thing. You woke up and, man, if you're in real estate, maybe you woke up, you made a call, and somebody saw, hey, man, you're a realtor, man. I'm looking for a realtor. I'm looking to sell my property. And that, maybe just that's it. That little thing could be a win. Yeah, maybe you don't get the deal or whatever, but that tells you that, damn, if maybe all I got to do is do this, it gives you a path to go down, right? Now it's up to you to continue to go down and work that path, right? Yeah, it's risky, of course. Of course it's risky, but guess what? At least you know that whatever you're doing is worthwhile to you, right? You live and die by your own sword, right? You live and die by your own sword. You don't have anyone feeding you like a pet, right? Which is what employers do, right? They give you a certain amount of money for a certain amount of work or time you put in, right? They feed you, okay, but you're not learning anything. Yeah, you may learn that one job, but you don't in the real world, where we're talking about people that make significant amount of money, know how to do different things and know skills that are valuable to the marketplace. Right? You learning how to, you know, turn a switch. It's not going to get you paid the amount of money that you may want in order to do what you want to do or live the way you want to live, because no one is going to value that. You may know how to flip a little switch, but okay, a monkey can do that. A baby can do that. A little toddler can do that. What is your value to the marketplace? Not very high. So you're going to get paid proportionate to that value. Okay. So again, the main threat to you is you. The main threat to you is you. It's no one else. Not your mom. It's not your dad. It's not your buddy. It's not your girlfriend, boyfriend. It's not your kids. Not your dog. Okay. It's not Trump or Biden. It's you. You are the main threat to you. You are either your best friend, best partner, or your worst enemy. It's you. Realize that. Take responsibility for that. Because just that one perspective will take you so far. Will take you so far. So once you realize that, your next job, your next assignment to yourself, not to me, to you, is to find vehicles that will provide you and support you with the type of lifestyle you feel that you deserve or the feel that you want. Right? I mean, you can say feel that you need. Again, that depends on how you see it. If you want it so bad that you make it a need as opposed to a want, then there you go. Right? It's just a simple switch, man. Again, when I thought about where I'm at today, I didn't think like, well, if I make it, cool. If I do a little bit, I'm fine with that. Whatever. You know. No, I was like, either I make it or I die trying. Straight up. Either I make it or I die trying. Like there's no, oh, I'm going back and I'm just do it for a little bit and see how it works. It was like I'm all in. I'm all in. If I don't get a deal, I don't eat. Period. And I was willing to do that. Why? Because I know if I put myself against the wall and I see no exit, then there's only one way to go, and that's forward. I realized that. So does that work for everyone? No, that may not work for some people. That may not work for certain type of personalities. For me, I figured out and I had to do a lot of inner work, a lot of experiences to figure that out. So again, going back to what I just said, find vehicles that provide you and support you with the type of lifestyle you want. Okay. Now, no, a job. I mean, you can kind of say a job is a vehicle, kind of, yeah. But are you really living the lifestyle you want? It depends on what lifestyle you want, right? Depends on your lifestyle, depends on what you really want or you feel like you need, right? Or you feel you deserve, right? Those are very different terms than, oh, I feel like I want that or I like that, right? What do you deserve? What do you feel like you deserve? You ever thought about that? What do you feel like you deserve? What do you feel like you need? Okay. I needed to have freedom, financial freedom. I need to have financial freedom. I need to be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it with whoever I want to do it. I need to be able to provide a legacy for my family and my future children, my wife, my future generations. I need to be able to provide and protect my family. Okay. I need to be able to feel fulfillment in my life. Well, what's the purpose of living? You know what I'm saying? So these are things that I made clear to myself after years, years of reading, self reflection, lonely nights, miserable nights and days, but I put myself in that position to be able to discover who I really was. And again, that comes down to what we said about before, about risk. There's no there's no secure place. Risk is everywhere. There's no secure path. Okay? Choose your risk. Choose your risk. Okay, I read a quote, or I actually posted a quote on my Instagram today that read, as long as a person's income is tied to their time, that person isn't wealthy or free. Again, as long as a person's income is tied to their time, that person isn't wealthy or free. So powerful. So powerful. In other words, if you are working for money and money is not working for you, I'm sad to say that you are not free. You are a slave to money. Because guess what? The one thing that there's abundance of is money. That's a fact. You look at the Federal Reserve, look how much money they printed as an example. Okay. We're talking about Jeff Bezos being a multi-billionaire. That means he can give $1 million. No, $1 billion. Sorry, I think it's 1 billion or 1 million. $1 billion, I believe it is, to every person in the world, and still be left with enough $1 billion that he won't be able to spend it in a lifetime. Can you believe that? But then people talk about, well, there's not enough money out here, or there's an abundance of money out here. It's just that you're not attractive enough for the money to be magnetized to you. That's the problem. That's a whole nother discussion, though. So again, if you are working for money, or better yet, if your time is tied to the production or the amount of money that you make, you are, my friends, slaves. You are modern slaves, or what they call debt slaves, which, and nowadays, everyone, especially majority of millennials, have have some type of debt, right? But no, then again, debt is not, me make this clear, debt is not 100% bad. It depends on where you use it. Whole nother discussion for a whole nother day. Point being, again, let's tie it right back. If you are using your time and it's tied to the amount of production in money that you make or that you are able to attain based on that time that you put in, you are a slave. If you can only work 40 hours, if there's only 24 hours in a day and you can only work 8 hours, even if you work, what is it, 5 hours a week, every single day and take 2 days off to rest, that's 40 hours. 40 hours in a week that you're able to work. If you're making, let's say you're a pharmacist like I was going to be, all right? All right, I went to school for pharmacy. Pharmacists, I got to double check what they make now, but back when I was going to pharmacy school, they were making easily anywhere between $50 and $100 an hour, easily. They were easily making $120,000 an hour. I'm sorry, $120,000 a year. Okay, so again, if you're making $150 to $100 an hour, okay, and you multiply that by 40 hours in a week, okay, you make what, 4,000 hours. 4,000 hours that you're doing, and you're putting in work. Is that really your worth in that case? Maybe my math is wrong in that. But guess what? What I'm trying to say in that is this: that if you tie yourself to that time that they're allowing you to work, I guess you could say, you'll never, it's very difficult to get to that level of financial freedom, because you have to continuously be working. You have to continuously give your time. But when you have money work for you, in this case, you don't have to be obligated to 8 hours a day or 40 hours a week, because money will work with whether you're sleeping or not. Money works 24/7. So you don't have to worry about, oh man, I got to go to work today and I'm not feeling good and I don't know if I could do a good job. Money has no need to sleep. Money has no need to eat. Money doesn't need breaks. Okay? Money will continuously work for you. So again, find those vehicles that will provide you and support you with the type of lifestyle you want. And once you find that, you are on the path to freedom. And that's what we all deserve, freedom. We all deserve our freedom. Okay, we all deserve to live life how we want to live it. Everyone deserves that. Don't you think? Don't you think everyone deserves at least the ability to do what they want with their life, to live life how they want to live? So I'll leave you with this question. Where will you be in the next 5 years if you stay doing what you're doing today? It's a good one. Again, where would you be? Where will you be in the next 5 years if you stay doing what you're doing today? Hopefully, I was able to bring you some type of content or knowledge that will help you. I will be doing more and more. Follow me on social medias, my Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, LinkedIn. Also follow me on YouTube and subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to the podcast, my podcast as well. And if there's any other suggestions or if you want to be on the podcast, let me know. We can make it happen. All right. So with that being said, talk to you later. Peace.